Hey, hey, hey. Time for another out-of-this-world story from our space. Splitting was now ex-girlfriend of 9 years, need advice and support. Today is the day. After 9 years of an on and off happiness, I've, 33 male, decided to end things with my soon-to-be ex-girlfriend, 33 female. I discovered her flirting with a guy via a video game on my PS5, which transitioned into text messages. I had a feeling something was wrong, as she would stay up late when she thought I was sleeping, to group chat her teammates, after which she'd use a low volume and sultry voice to chat. Before I discovered all this, I took her out to a nice restaurant where we drank and had a good time. The truth serum got to her as she offered to let me see other women, saying she wouldn't be too jealous. This immediately set off a red flag. She later confirmed she would like to explore an open relationship if I was all right with it. I'm not. The next night, we had a conversation about that, and she admitted that she had been flirting with the guy online for the past 2 weeks. She tried to reason it by saying she gets a high off of flirting and the power it gives her over the other person, but would never act on it. Stupidly, I forgave her. I told her that I am uncomfortable with it all, and it's a non-starter for me, and she'd have to immediately stop it. We went on, as usual. It's been 2 weeks since then. Last night, I stayed up to hear her chats. I recorded her conversation with a voice my WAV and heard enough. I checked her PSN messages on the console and confirmed she had been telling this guy that she's wanted to break up with me for years, but feels trapped, giving intimate details of her history and saying he's handsome. She then offers him her phone number. I took up her phone's text logs, we have a shared plan, and saw she had texted the guy several times after the PSN chat ended, including NMS messages, which are definitely pictures. The chats on PSN even mentioned how they find each other physically attractive, so I know they've exchanged pics and bids. She's currently out at her job, legitimately, and will be home later in the afternoon. I want to break up immediately. Reading through this sub has helped me formulate my thoughts in words, and I'm grateful for this community. Here's what I'll say, with my words, not via text. I found out about the guy. I will not continue to let you disrespect me. I've decided that we will go our separate ways. Organize your things because I will not live with you anymore. We will remain no contact after our things and accounts are separated, and we've decided what to do with the apartment and our dog. Splitting the apartment will be difficult, as she pays half of the rent and utilities, and her lease isn't up until the fall of 2022. I'm reading through our lease now to see if I can break it early without much or any penalty. As mentioned in the script above, we have a dog together that we adore beyond words. I'm already in the process of separating our shared accounts, but would like advice as to the get out of the department, have your things out part. Thank you. Update. I told her we're done. She tried to spin crap and lie some more, but I got the receipts. Something I didn't mention in the OP is that I ran a Spokio search for the guy she was texting and found out he has a wife and 4 kids. I texted and emailed her the evidence. She's probably went to warn him, but oh well. She also said she's sorry. I said she's only sorry she got caught. She loves me. I said she wouldn't do that if she did, if she really loved me. And she would have confessed to it soon, as if that would help anything. I recorded everything, and she's moving out to her mom's tonight. She understands she effed up. The difference now is I refuse to put on a cape and stay in the relationship despite that. Thank you all so much. I'm free. First reaction from Reddit Avenger 2019. Do not share the dog. It will be harder to move on. If she won't give you the dog, give it to her. Living together for 6 months will be hard. Try finding another roommate if she leaves. The OP responds, thanks for your advice. I've always been the dog's primary caregiver, having initiated his adoption, giving him his relief walks, etc. She's also complained about having him around, mentioning that she wasn't ready for a dog. Then the next day, she'd be all over him. I will definitely have him in my life. Next comment from Twitch80. A couple thoughts on your lease. 1. The rental market in many areas is super hot right now. The landlord may be happy to let you break the lease because they can rent the unit for a higher price than what you now pay. It would be worth a call to your landlord to discuss this. 2. You could get to recruit a new tenant to take over your lease. If you do the legwork of getting a new one for the landlord, they are usually more than willing to let you break the lease. 3. If all else fails, explain to your landlord what is going on with you and your ex-girlfriend. Landlords are people too. Many of them will have experienced infidelity, just like everyone else. They may take sympathy on you, if they've been through it before, and be willing to cut you a break. The OP responds, thank you for this great advice. We're in New York City, so the market is indeed hot. I will contact our landlord first thing Monday morning. Next advice from M. Tobacco 31. I do not have advice for your apartment, but wanted to tell you more people should do what you are doing. Good for you. Stay strong when the tears start flowing, and they will. Follow the path you have set for yourself. It is the right one. You're going to hear a lot of BS. Just remind yourself that is exactly what it is. Stay strong. Let us know how it goes. Next comment from Snookered All the Time. I'm sorry to hear you in this situation. It sucks. You did nothing to deserve her duplicitous actions. Consider holding off your speech until you have the accounts separated and a concrete plan for the apartment. That is, you want no contact. Make everything separate now, else she's not consciously blocking you will be easier. Cheaters want to have their cake and eat it too. Don't underestimate a cheater's reaction when you take away the cake. My best to you. Moving on to the next story. Struggling to accept my girlfriend's past. I apologize if I'm wrong to post this here, but I feel as though the perspective of this community would be helpful. I have not been cheated on myself, however my girlfriend cheated on her ex, and I'm unsure if I should accept this. I'm 21 and my girlfriend has just turned 20. About 7 months into our relationship, I found out that she had cheated on her ex-boyfriend about 5 months before breaking up with him, with her best friend at the time. She also slept with him once more about 3 months after they broke up, which was also about 3 months before we met. She said she didn't tell me because she knew it would affect us the most, as she didn't want me to look down on her because she loves me so much. She said she was young and naive to how much cheating would hurt people and that her relationship with her ex always felt more like a friendship. Her dad had passed away a few weeks before the cheating happened. She says that me finding out has opened her eyes so much to all the mistakes she's made, and she's adamant that she has changed and would never hurt me or anyone like that ever again. She says she feels awful for what she's done and regrets it immensely. Since coming clean to me, she has never made me feel like the bad guy or been cagey with information. She says she's been entirely honest with me about every detail and has not lied about anything else during our relationship. She's always been transparent to me about what she's doing, who she's with, and where she is, as have I, and she's cut off all contact with the person she cheated with and has vowed to never interact with him in any capacity, even if that meant having to miss events with her mutual friends. Our relationship is fantastic, and outside of this problem, there's really nothing wrong with her or our connection. But she has betrayed my trust immensely by lying to me for so long, and she's hurt me by being dishonest. And frankly, I'm worried that if she could do it once before, she could easily do it again. I know the past behavior is the best indicator of future behavior, but I also know myself how much someone can change in a short period of time. I went from being an isolated, depressed, self-conscious person to an overly confident, outgoing, genuinely happy person in the space of a year, after a lot of change and growth. I want to believe she's truly changed and grown, but I don't want to be another cliche and statistic. Our first reaction from Fragrant Spray. This isn't the distant past. This is her most recent relationship. She was right to think this would affect your relationship. Personally, I'd be out. But it sounds like you're not going to do that, so all I can say is keep your radar up. Remember, when she says, "He's just a friend," what she does with her friends. Maybe she genuinely changed, but this could also just be telling you what you want to hear. I see Barracuda 5326 has some intense thoughts. Well, 2 ways to take this. She is young and dumb and has a chance to learn. On the other hand, contrary to popular Reddit opinion, people tend to act in trends. If she doesn't have the ethical foundation to not do this to begin with, this is massively concerning. Either way, her actions have you in a non-secure place. You cannot control her, just how you react. So let's look at what you can entail. You can take her word, trust her without reservation, give her every bit of privacy and respect you would for someone without disdain, and have faith in her current honesty. After all, she did admit all this to you outright. If you found out years in, then it would be different. Taking her at her word is the healthiest path forward, but also leaves you the most vulnerable, and simply put, she doesn't have a good track record. Do this if you've got the spine to not be a doormat the moment it looks like it's going downhill. The second way is a middle route of sorts. Set very hard boundaries. Explain them fully. No contact with exes, no hidden communication, etc. Take the steps to allow you to see you can trust her. This will add an unhealthy part dynamic even if both of you are open with your phones, as it inherently gives you a modicum of control by virtue that you trust her less and would employ this privilege more. The good news, with a bit of restraint, this can transition into the first path over time. The third, and this is manipulation, break up with her right now. Give her a week to decide if this is actually what she wants with a 100% certainty. If she shows any sign whatsoever that makes you question things, leave for good. The rope to hang himself with is typically enough for someone that won't stay monogamous. The last is to accept that you're both young. She likely has some things she needs to iron out with herself, and honestly, you probably do too. Being alone for a bit doesn't hurt, and it's better than sitting in any relationship that had you questioning things. No one should be in a relationship if they aren't sure that the foundation is solid. Next quick question from Belf17. It depends on her current relation with this best friend. To which the OT replies, they have no relationship. According to her, they stopped being friends before we met. However, she did see him at 2 parties during our relationship, both of which I also attended, but they barely interacted. After I found out about their history, she cut off all contact, blocked him on everything, and told their mutual friends she would never be interacting with him again. I never asked her to do any of that. She did it on her own free will when I had left to give myself space to think. On to the next story. I cheated on my wife, and my life is a living hell. Yesterday, I cheated on my wife with some random woman I met in a bar. I was so drunk. I don't remember much, but I would never do this to her on sober. We were together for 10 years, and I never acted like this. I don't even remember her face. I woke up at her house with memories of sex. I came on her butt. Still, I'm afraid I could impregnate her and STDs. When I left, I was still drunk, so I don't remember where her house was, and I don't have her number. I'm an alcoholic, and when I drink, I don't think. I become autopilot a piece of crap. I didn't tell my wife, and I'm eating my remorse to that point. I can't eat or sleep. I know I should tell her, but if I do, I will lose everything I have, and most important, love of my life. My wife. She will never forgive, and I'm afraid what she could do to herself if she knew. I'm such a piece of crap. I beg you, help me. The OP then adds, I told her. She kicked me out of the house. Divorce on the way. She deserves better. A first response from Mountain Dew 1970. It's time to work on you. As bad as it may seem right now, this is your opportunity to fix yourself so you can be happy for the rest of your life and avoid making the same mistakes in the future. It's your choice. Make the right one and don't beat yourself up emotionally for the rest of your life. As mad as it sounds, go out and enjoy life. Next reaction from JustWow52. That says something about your character at least. You still need to get and stay sober, and you have to live with knowing how you hurt your wife. But now you are a man with a sense of accountability who cheated, as opposed to a selfish, cheating liar. I hope you can see the difference and build on that when putting your life back together. Next thought from Alex Jonestown Massacre. Quit drinking. I was an active alcoholic for almost 20 years, sober for 2, and it's been the best 2 years of my life. It does get better. Next thought from Cold Drew 18. Get an STD test. Go to AA and stop drinking. Make changes to improve yourself as a person. Your goal is to prove yourself worthy of forgiveness. Then tell her, talk is cheap. I will improve. Is less powerful than, I have improved and here's why. I'm sorry. One more thought from username 19611691. Use this as the impetus to quit drinking. Join AA. Ensure you stay sober. When you get to this step of forgiveness, tell your wife then. Maybe she will forgive you if you're sober. EOP replies, she will never forgive me. And if I don't tell her, I will never forgive myself. This is the end of my good life. Now I have to live with this terrible burden that I destroyed her life. On to the next story. Weird signs of being cheated on. Never thought my ex would be the type to cheat. However, I found it unsettling how after 6 years of dating, he would never really let me go on his phone and was uncomfortable with it. Never once gave me his phone password and needed a lot of female friends or female attention. Yet they were only friends. Every time, and I was constantly called insecure and jealous if I asked him to understand boundaries or voice discomfort. I did not go out of my way to pursue male friendships outside of my relationship out of respect. One time, while playing a game with 2 of his female friends, co-workers, and him, the game included dares. He was dared to give his phone to the person opposite of him, me, and let the person read a text of their choice out loud. Once he pulled that card, he instantly looked like a deer in the headlights, said, "No, I have nothing to hide. I'm not playing this card," and kept refusing for me to have the phone. I just gawked at him, looked so uncomfortable, and felt hurt, especially since he kept refusing to let me hold his phone in front of female coworkers. The one girl even chimed in and was like, "Hey, you could go ahead and have your phone." Once he gave it to me, there was not anything suspicious I saw, and he was like, "See, there's nothing in there anyway." That night, when I was finally alone with him, I asked him why he had to react like that and embarrass me in front of other women. He yelled at me and told me because I was an insecure, jealous, psycho girlfriend. I started to cry and we ended up arguing. Months later, he ended up having a full-blown emotional affair with strong evidence of physical cheating with a coworker. Years ago, I've also found that he had a video saved on his laptop of a girl he knew from college touching herself in her car, and he got mad at me for finding it and said I should not be looking to his stuff. Anyone else experience weird signs, red flags, which gave you a bad feeling about the person you were with and that followed with cheating? Our first reaction from, "You ever think why?" He was most likely always cheating. You just picked the wrong chat at the time. Too angry for someone who has nothing to hide? Trust your gut. You deserve more than him. The OP response started to think he was at least micro-cheating the entire time. A next comment from Boshin. Being sneaky and overprotective for this phone, gaslighting you, and being so quick to not only be angry but defensive and hateful are all classic cheater behavior. Anything to keep the attention off him and what he's hiding. Next response from Failure to Communicate. Cheaters will get more and more evasive as they get deeper into cheating. They will also find different acts to hide their cheating. One more comment from J&H daughter. First off, those aren't weird red flags. That was you being gaslighted into thinking that your gut was wrong when it wasn't. His coworkers knew and was trying to tell you without telling you. Also, this was a learning relationship. Never keep a person if they have or need to have lots of attention from others. Never let someone break your boundaries. You set them for a reason. Also, always demand respect. If they aren't willing to respect your feelings, walk away. You let him disrespect you for 6 years. Just know we learn from our mistakes, so don't make them again. On to the next story. Wife of 3 years got caught. What would you do? One child. Alright, so found out the other day she was cheating. We have a 2-year-old and smallish apartment, so we all have to take breaks. She would say I'm going out for a ride when it was a stressful day. Sometimes she'd be gone for 45 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever. This time, she was gone for 3 hours, so I'm worried. Doesn't pick up 3 phone calls. Reply saying she's sorry she fell asleep at her friend's. I message her friend through Facebook and says she hasn't seen her. I sent the photo to her. She says, I'm so sorry, I'm coming home, please don't hurt me. We get in an argument and I told her to leave. The next day I told her I'm going to her mom's house with her son and she asked to come and I told her no. We had a lot of fun together. We go on vacations, excited we're close to affording a home. Everything seemed fine. She has said in the past she was upset with me for not showing enough attention and emotional love. She definitely requires sex and all that more than I do. She's 24 and I'm 30. I talked to her on the phone today, so did her mom, separately, telling us both how sorry she was and crying, etc., that all she wants is to be all together. She mentioned me not showing affection as why, but still recognizes what she has done was not right in justifying what she did. She said she had seen him off and on for a year. I know nothing about him, although I didn't really ask, claiming she doesn't love him and said she blocked him on all social media. She depends on me financially and doesn't have hands on my bank account. I pay her lease, phone, cover rent solely. She has daddy issues and recognizes she needs therapy. Has been saying this for a while. She's open to everything and anything to reconcile for the sake of our son and her love for me. The ball's in my court. I have her son with me. She's realizing how bad she effed up and what will happen if I say no. I plan to reach out this weekend to speak face to face, leaning towards not letting this go and separating, but have not completely made up my mind. What would you do? First response from Thrilla de Gorilla. A year-long affair and you'll have a 1-year-old kid? DNA test the kid, STD test yourself, and go no contact with her for a few months, except for issues concerning the kid, and act the 180 treatment, to the letter. You'll need some time and space to say she's actually remorseful or to panicking that her ATM machine is gone, and you'll need time and space to see if you are even capable of reconciling with her. Some people can, some people can't. Gotta get over the confused stage first. Settle down, gain clarity, then make a decision when emotions have calmed down. In the interim, start protecting yourself and your assets. Stop paying for unnecessary expenses. Give yourself some grace and lots of self-love. This isn't on you, bro. This is on her. Our next thought from Durakook. 1 year? I could not get past that if it happened to me. Just imagine how many lies she has told. She is used to it. It now comes naturally. You cannot trust her. It is easy to unblock someone. He knows where she lives. She knows where he lives. The drama will continue. Be done with it. Next comment from War Lagon. She has cheated for 1/3 of your marriage and now is only sorry for getting caught, as you were never supposed to find out. Ignore her words as they mean absolutely nothing right now. She's in CYA mode and will say anything. I agree with not doing anything right now. Apart from staying away from her so you process this betrayal. She should be the one to leave your apartment, not you. Expect to be trickle-truthed. Get lots of self-pity tears and love bomb in the next few days, weeks, so be prepared to hold your line and see these tactics for what they are. The next comment from Much Editor 7898. I'll tell you what I did. I said, shit happens in life. We're still young. Our daughter is only 3.5 years old. We are parents and need to act responsibly. Let's forget the whole thing and start over. Her reply, I found the love of my life, and no one is going to stop me from being happy. I became a single dad. Have full custody of my daughter. She will soon go to college now. I still let her see her mother whenever she wants to. Weekends, summer, winter breaks, holidays. Our failure as parents should not be her burden to bear. I don't trash talk about her mom either. In fact, I always remind her to appreciate and honor her mother for bringing her into this world. You know what you need to do, but you just don't want to do it. Girls have daddy issues equal trouble. You can never make them happy. My ex-wife said the same thing. Not enough attention, not enough sweet talk, not enough romance. I was the sole breadwinner. I was the cook, the butler, the chauffeur, and the nanny. A baby is jiggly and slippery, she said. She did do the laundry, though. I had just borrowed money to buy a house that I couldn't afford to appease her, too. I am still in debt and have to ask my dad for help. Nothing you do will ever be enough. It will always be your fault. Settling the fact that she screwed another man aside, do you really want to continue to live like that? The OP replies, You're right. I don't believe I want to continue life this way. Thanks for the relatable story.